Ciao tutti, buongiorno. A little bit frustrated and some disbelief is what I was having during the weekend and on Monday when I finally started trading again, because the trade that we have been waiting for such a long time, the entire week last week, got hit on Friday night. When I got the alert, I thought, I don't want to manage this trade so late in the evening, at least for me. I didn't want to stay up anymore, and I thought just let it go for now. We maybe get another week. We also have the weekend volume, which is usually very low. I'm just gonna wait until I get a better opportunity or for Monday. So the trade got hit and then just slowly walked away from us. If I would have taken the trade, then it would have been a nice 5% already, and in this environment that we had the last few weeks, that actually is quite a lot. So yeah, slightly frustrated, a little bit of disbelief that we hit it so late in the evening. Nonetheless, our scenario again worked out perfectly, hitting that daily, getting to that daily low, almost hitting that golden pocket, or kind of hitting that golden pocket, maybe depending on which exchange you're using. It looks like here it hit the 61.8 to the exact dollar and then went higher. So if you were awake or if you were able to take the trade, congratulations, and again a winning trade here on the channel. After that we went higher, and now we're coming in a little bit of a weird territory, because this bottom blue line is the macro value area low of this big range that we are in. However, for Bybit it is this blue line, so I just drew this in, and depending on the exchange that you're trading, some of them have them here, so that is then 62,600, and others have them on the Bybit level 63,700. Depending on which exchange you're trading, which chart you're trading, it also depends on what kind of trading plan you should have. Okay, so we had this short that was a backtest of that value area low. I can take this off because we just blasted straight to, there was just no trade for us. If you are trading the the Binance chart, and I also saw it on the CME futures and also on Coinbase, then the macro value area low is right here, 62,600. That means that this is right now your long trade. They're right at the price level where we at, and I will put my stop loss underneath these lows. So then you're going long here because we had acceptance within the macro value area low. Backtest 1, backtest 2. You could even say that we are making a W pattern in case you're a pattern trader. Stop loss goes underneath these lows. Now you're just trading it to the upside, and you can eventually expect new all-time highs, because we're just then rotating from the low to the high and the high to the low. So that should be then the target, and of course at least already take profit along the way. But this then, where we are right now, is your long trade, and of course I would just take profit at the most important levels. So for example here, and then here around these highs once we have been taking them out, and then of course eventually the all-time highs. So that is actually long trade number 1. If you are trading the Bybit chart like me, well, first of all, then you had your first short trade right away yesterday, because we had a tap of that macro value area low. Again, that is this line on the Bybit chart. Then we went lower, and then eventually we had an SFP of that level. So you could have entered the trade here, stop loss above the highs, and then just trade it to the downside. If you haven't taken profit yet, please do so now. You need to take profit now, because if this starts pumping again, then we might take out these highs. I am actually not such a huge fan of taking again a short trade from these levels, because we created a high and we already had a liquidity run. So actually this trade that we had here, that is this short, is getting a little bit weaker. It's not really so preferred anymore for me. Depending on what I'm seeing, I might still take it, but remember that was a short from that golden pocket. And this was, I believe, a naked weekly point of control. It was just an important support and resistance level. No, actually it wasn't a support and resistance level, excuse me. So no naked weekly, but still nonetheless very important, because you can see that price here is beautifully respecting that level. So that is very nice. So this still could be a short, but most likely I will not trade it, because if we're also then getting acceptance here and we already had our liquidity run, then you're actually really shorting right into support. So probably not the best idea to do so. If I see something that I like, I will try it. If you're not long yet and you're actually waiting for lower, then the current golden pocket could still be a nice trade. I therefore need to extend this volume profile to the current price action, and then you can clearly see that the point of control, which is exactly the same level as it was before I extended the profile, is right at that golden pocket. In other words, if we would come down one more time and we would hit that point of control and that golden pocket, and that resides from 61,000, let's say 600 all the way to 61,350, then I will try to take that trade. That also coincides, by the way, with closing the CME gap, because we went up during the weekend. We left a little bit of a CME gap right here, yeah, that will then be partially closed. Not 100%, but it will be partially closed. If we are closing a hourly or 4-hour candle underneath these levels, I'm very afraid that it's going to look pretty bearish, because then the chances are very high that you're going to take out these lows and these lows right here. So you need to be careful with long this. You really need to see some strength picking up right at that golden pocket that I just gave you. So these lows will be taken out, and these lows once you really start going lower and losing the point of control, because the point of control is the most traded volume, and yes, it's in the middle, so it's not really the low of the range. That is a ship that already sailed. We missed it. Okay, this is then the best second option, but it is in the middle, so it's not ideal. But you also need to understand that the market circumstances are that if you are losing the most traded volume, very most likely you're going to make new lows and eventually dump much lower. So if you are bullish, then this is actually what you want to see. Market Cipher B, not gonna lie, actually looks pretty good, because here on the 1 hour we're getting that green dot. We're having the money flow that's curving back up. We have the VWAP going higher. RSIs are not together yet, but it could still happen. So this actually on the 1 hour looks pretty good. 4 hour then, not ideal, but what I do like is that we have this very big bottom right here. So if we can do something like this and we're getting a trigger wave with still the money flow coming up, ooh, that's juicy, baby. That is really good. And then I think we can expect more upside in the next couple days. What I also like is the daily. Look at this big wave to the upside, money flow to the upside, RSI is pointing higher, and already a green dot that we printed a couple days ago. Usually on the daily that has quite some follow through. It can take some time, but if you actually look in the past, then you can see that a daily green dot usually has some follow through. This was then a very big move. This was then 3 waves, but eventually it still had a very big move to the upside. Yeah, I can actually scroll back for a lot of days, but usually when you see such a big wave, that is actually nice. Would we still, for whatever reason, in the next couple of weeks or 2 weeks, dump lower and do one more time like this? You could even set yourself up for a bullish divergence for the daily, and that, ladies and gentlemen, whew, I think that's going to catapult us absolutely to new all-time highs. I would almost bet my liver on it that if you get something like that, you're getting new all-time highs. However, that's far away from where we are right now, but the reason why I mention it is because this momentum wave is so deep that if eventually you do something like this, you do have the potential to do so. Like getting this for a bullish divergence is just a bit unlikely, because that wave is so close to the zero line. So you want to see the first one actually really being very deep, very long, very big, and then the second one must be much smaller, much closer to the zero line. That, and then with a lower low on price, that is just firework. And it doesn't mean that once that green dot is printing, boom, you're going higher. That needs a couple days, but eventually then in the next week, 2-3 weeks after that, it also takes time to play out. that is usually a very strong signal. So I will keep an eye on that. I will not count on it because we just could go high from here if we get that a full-on acceptance in that value area. But that for now are the trades I'm looking for. Let me quickly zoom in one more time so that you can see it. The really must hold for now is the point of control, 61,500 ish. Or you could go long as I'm speak right now, but please take some profit already here at the highs and edges later, right? Then a short could be from that golden pocket support and resistance level. Other than that, I would be very careful because people are still short from the highs of this range. I just quickly want to have the profile back. So this could also be a pretty fast move up. I mean, if you just look at these highs right here, that could be a pretty fast move up. I mean, you have a high here, and then now here. Well, you know what I'm always saying, that is liquidity, baby. So that could go very fast. Other than that, on Thursday we have the 4th of July. Traditional markets are closed, and usually then you also don't see a whole lot of movement on crypto. And then the same goes for Friday. A lot of people will take that day off as well. So it could be a little bit wonky price action. You could see some scam wicks. You can see some ferocious moves up and completely retrace again. So keep that in mind. That could happen during this week because of the 4th of July and people just already taking holiday. That will be it for now. I hope I informed you. Again, congratulations if you took the trade from the bottom already. Please take some profit. If you haven't, then you know what my scenarios are. And I would really appreciate it if you would like the video and also subscribe, click on the bell, click on all so you guys don't miss anything. And I see you very soon again in the next one. Bye bye.